Most likely, you have great momentum in some area of your life, but you're stuck in others. And don't even worry if you're super stuck and not feeling like you have any momentum. What I'm going to talk about today is a unique approach that does not require expensive coaching or never-ending training. These are ideas that I've shared on the TED stage in the past. And I've had the great pleasure of working with Olympic athletes, highly trained professionals, world adventurers, and you can immediately experience a breakthrough in any area of your life. And it's not just for people who are Olympians. I've worked with people literally of all backgrounds, all ages, education levels, income levels to help them do things like triple their income, lose tons of weight, meet the love of their life, land a dream job, wipe out debt, discover their life purpose, start the business that they've always wanted to start, fix broken marriages, or just get in the best shape of their life and have peace of mind. Right now, you might already be rolling your eyes. And if so, that's actually a good thing. If your radar is up a little bit with me talking about creating this abundant, dreamy life, that's good. You're being bombarded over and over again with people telling you to buy their training, buy their coaching, pay for their mentorship, follow their system to save your marriage, lose the weight, or succeed beyond your wildest dreams, to become free in all ways, and on and on and on. Do you really think that there's someone out there that has all of these answers for you? Well, there isn't. You already know that. And just so that we're 100% clear, that means that I'm not either. That being said, it's absolutely possible for you to create experiences in your life that exceed every one of your dreams. It's true that you can have professional success and be fit and healthy and unbelievably connected to the people closest to you and not stress about money. And I know that this is true because I've experienced all of this personally. What this video is not this is not a sales video. There's nothing to buy at the end of this video. There's no courses or books or trainings. And it's not a bunch of empty promises. What this video is a radical way for you to transform your life. And it's practical information that you can start using immediately. You wouldn't have clicked on this link if there wasn't something amazing that you wanted to see happen. So with that in mind, I have 3 recommendations that are going to help you get what you came for. First, make sure you have the time to watch this video all the way through. And if that's not right now, don't worry. You can come back to it. You're going to get way more out of this time if you give yourself focused, uninterrupted time to absorb all the information. Next is do grab a pen and paper. It's well documented that you learn and retain more when you jot down some notes and certainly capture any questions that you may have. This video is the beginning of a conversation, not the end. So write down anything you see as valuable, any takeaways, and write down any questions that you'd like to discuss with me later. And lastly, you may not agree with everything that I talk about, and some of the things that I share may even be off-putting or feel uncomfortable. It's certainly not my intention to come off as off-putting or to challenge you. And at the same time, you're watching this video because you'd like to grow and expand, and growing can certainly be uncomfortable. So don't worry if some of what I covered today challenges your comfort zone. That's also a really good thing. You want to grow, you want to improve, and you're ready to make some changes. So here's what we're going to do. Today, you're going to learn specifically how to reduce the anxiety you feel at work. Almost everybody, and I don't even want to make up a statistic, but it's 60, 70, 80%, depending upon who you're listening to, of people feel high levels of anxiety, specifically at work. We're going to talk about specifically how to deeply connect with others, how to generate more physical energy than you ever thought possible, and how to stop stressing and worrying about money. Right now, whether you're consciously thinking about this or whether it's a tape playing somewhere in the back of your mind, you might be thinking that you don't have the time to dive into anything new, you're already overwhelmed, or you don't have the energy, you're exhausted, or you don't have the money to invest in yourself, or possibly you just believe that nothing is really going to help or work. And if that's the case, hang out, because those messages play in all of our minds. They play in mine every single day. And that's not the reason to stop. Many of you know me, but if you don't, again, my name is Eric Plantenberg. I grew up in a blue-collar town in the Midwest. I was a very average student. I wasn't an exceptional athlete. There's honestly really nothing very special about me. I'm a very normal guy. I co-founded a company in my 20s called Freedom Personal Development. And for over 30 years, I've had the cool opportunity to watch some of the most successful people in all areas of life, as well as loads of people that are really struggling. And I am a very observant person. I'm not at all comfortable feeling mediocre. So I deconstructed over decades, literally every area of my life. And you might be going, well, what does that even mean?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not.
It gets the people going.
I'll give you an example of this. There's an adage that states, how you do anything is how you do everything. This is one of those positive quotes that people flock to. It looks great on posters, but in the end, this is actually a lie.
A lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Think about it for you right now. Are there areas in your life where you have tons of discipline and focus and other areas where you don't? Of course there are. Think about it. There's sometimes you're in a conversation and you're a good listener, you have high EQ, you're empathetic, and there's other conversations where you're distracted and you're not present, just like me, just like everyone. With some things that you do, you're going to be highly skilled and competent, and with other things, you're going to be a novice. So to put a broad stroke and oversimplify something as important as how you do everything in your life can really mess with people. If you ever suffer with over criticizing yourself, and it's very unproductive, tapes like this that play in your mind at a subconscious level really can mess with the foundations of how you see and view yourself inside of the world. I did a quick Google search on this quote, how you do anything is how you do everything. What popped up first page on a very prominent blog was, well, one thing's for sure, whoever came up with this idea was clearly a master of business strategy. Well, this just talks to what BS this is and how the telephone game of great ideas can be altered over hundreds of years. Who actually came up with this is a Japanese samurai. He was a sword master named Miyamoto Musashi. And what he actually said hundreds and hundreds of years ago is that once you understand the way broadly, you'll see it in all things, which is radically different than how you do anything is how you do everything. And I noticed that in some areas I had incredible momentum, and in many areas I was stuck, and this is normal. But when you see that, you can break apart predictable patterns that are both negative and positive. And unless the negative patterns are changed, it's basically impossible to get unstuck. So a question that I ask myself over and over, you might ask yourself this right now. What negative patterns do I have that are holding me back? When I started answering these questions, I was literally able to do things that blew my mind. I went from being a struggling, broke entrepreneur to building a brand that now sells hundreds of millions of dollars of product across the world. I went from being a very average athlete. In my 20s, I couldn't run more than 6 or 8 miles, and there was a big struggle to even do that. And then in my 30s and 40s, I climbed the highest mountains of the world. After decades of struggling in relationships and a super painful divorce, I finally created the dreamiest marriage that I could ever imagine. And now in my 50s, we're traveling the world. We're having more fun than we ever thought possible, being on romantic private beaches, taking our kids all over the world on fun field trips. All of this exceeded my wildest dreams. Trust me, when I was growing up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, I didn't think any of this stuff was going to be happening in my life. This is one of the most important things that I'm going to say all day. The results that I'm talking about, not only the ones that I've gotten in my life, but some of the ones that I've highlighted and other ones that you're going to hear from other people at the end of this video, these are not unique. This is not one of a kind. This isn't something that, oh, Eric's got something going on in his life that's special or unique. These are literally principles that when they're applied in your life, anybody, and I really do mean anybody, can make extraordinary changes. If you know me, you know that I'm not going to BS you on this. It's important to me that people live the fullest, happiest, most abundant life that they can. And we all get stuck. Many of the people that I've worked with closely have accomplished way bigger things than I have, building extraordinary companies, writing best-selling books, giving incredible TED Talks, accumulating enormous wealth, competing at the highest levels in sport, building strong families and marriages, so many amazing things. Just because it's not normal does not mean that it's not possible. More than ever, people are getting discouraged. They're getting anxious. They're feeling stuck because that is becoming the norm.